Cryptopedia A to Z, the words of crypto. If you're just getting into cryptocurrencies, or even if you think you've got a good grasp on everything, the language used is important. It can all be a bit confusing, and sometimes it might discourage you from getting involved. If you want to feel like an insider and not someone trying desperately to be a part of the cool club without understanding anything, you need to get a handle on some of the jargon. It's not as difficult as you might think. Hello and welcome to Crypto Lessons, one of the fastest growing YouTube channels for crypto education. We've quickly grown to over 1,300 subscribers, so if you're new here, consider subscribing as well. If you get value, hit the like button and share the video. Remember, there's no enjoyment in what one knows unless one has someone to share it with. In this video, we're going to learn all about the most common terms in crypto from A to Z, to better understand the language and what each term means. 51% attack, also known as a majority attack. When one or a group of miners control greater than 50% of the network's mining hash rate or computational power. Absolute advantage. An economics concept in which one party has a direct advantage in efficiency in producing or providing a specific good or service over another party. Active management. An investing strategy employed by fund managers aiming to outperform an index or market in order to generate profits. Ad hoc. A phrase of Latin origin that is used in modern English to mean for this purpose, or specifically for this. Address. String of text that designates the location of a particular wallet on the blockchain, often a hashed version of a public key. Airdrop. The distribution of digital assets to the public either by virtue of holding a certain other token or simply by virtue of being an active wallet address on a particular blockchain. Algorithm. A sequence of unambiguous instructions used for the purpose of solving a problem. All or none order, or AON. An order which once placed must either be filled in its entirety or not at all. This prevents any partial filling of orders. All-time high, or ATH. The highest price of a cryptocurrency in a quote currency, such as a dollar, BTC, ETH, or BNB. Allocation. An allotment of tokens or equity that may be earned, purchased, or set aside for a certain investor, team, group, organization, or other related entity. Alpha. The first look at a product released by a team, consisting of the very first version of a primitive basic software or product. Altcoin. A cryptocurrency that is alternative to Bitcoin, used to describe cryptocurrencies that are not Bitcoin. Angel investor. Wealthy investors that seek out opportunities to provide funding for entrepreneurs or startup companies. Anti-money laundering, or AML. A framework consisting of legal and regulatory procedures to minimize and curb the flow of funds that are generated from illegal or dubious activities. Application Programming Interface, or API. A collection of functions and procedures that allow users to interact or communicate with the data of an application or service, such as an exchange, to execute the features of the service programmatically. Application-Specific Integrated Circuit, or ASIC. An integrated circuit customized for maximum performance in a particular use rather than general purpose use. Arbitrage. Buying and selling of assets over different markets in order to take advantage of differing prices on the same asset. Asic Resistant. An ASIC resistant cryptocurrency has its protocol and mining algorithm configured in such a way that using ASIC machines to mine the coin is either impossible or brings no significant benefit when compared to traditional GPU mining. Ask price. The lowest price a seller is willing to accept on their sell order when trading an asset on an exchange. Asset management. A system or method that helps individuals or companies manage assets, either on behalf of their clients or their own. Asynchronous. Events in electronic systems that do not happen at the same time or speed, or happen independent of the main program flow. Atomic swap. Smart contract technology that enables the exchange of one cryptocurrency for another without using centralized intermediaries such as exchanges. Attack surface. Points in a software environment where an attacker can attempt to enter or extract data from the system. Auction. A live event where assets or services are negotiated through a bidding process, which is often led by an auctioneer. Bags. The portfolio of coins and tokens one is holding, often related to a poorly performing bag of assets that investors insist to hold. Bear market. A negative trend in prices of a market. It's widely used not only in the cryptocurrency space but also in the traditional markets. Benchmark. A measurement standard which can be used to gauge the performance of a particular asset or investment portfolio. BEP2. A technical standard that defines a set of rules for the issuance and management of tokens in the Binance Chain ecosystem. BEP20. BEP20 is a token standard on Binance Smart Chain that extends ERC20, the most common Ethereum token standard. You can think of it as a blueprint for tokens that defines how they can be spent, who can spend them, and other rules for their usage. Due to its similarity to Binance Chain's BEP2 and Ethereum's ERC20, it's compatible with both. BEP 721, a technical standard that defines a set of rules for the issuance of NFTs in the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem. BEP 95. BEP 95 is a Binance evolution proposal that introduces a real-time burning mechanism to Binance Smart Chain. Beta, coefficient, a tool used to measure the volatility of an asset in comparison to the volatility of a specific portfolio or market index. Beta, release, an early version of a program for users to test and for a team to get feedback. Beta stage comes after the alpha stage. Bid price. In the context of financial markets, it's the value buyers offer for an asset such as a commodity, security, or cryptocurrency. Bid-ask spread, the difference in price between the lowest asking price and highest bid price on the order book for an asset. Binance Blockchain Charity Foundation, or BCF, the world's first decentralized charity platform to advocate the concept of blockchain for social good. Binance Community Vote, when the community has the opportunity to vote for their favorite project to win a free listing on Binance. Binance Ecosystem Fund, or BEF, an initiative by Binance to collaborate with partners who care about the blockchain or cryptocurrency ecosystem. Binance Labs, a social impact fund and an initiative to incubate, invest, and empower blockchain and cryptocurrency entrepreneurs, projects, and communities. Bitcoin, a cryptocurrency created by the pseudonymous developer Satoshi Nakamoto, the first cryptocurrency, initially described as a peer-to-peer eCash. Bitcoin Core, leading implementation of the software that enables users to interact with the Bitcoin network, initially released by Satoshi. Bitcoin Dominance, the ratio of Bitcoin's market capitalization versus the sum of the market capitalizations of all cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin Pizza, the first known transaction where Bitcoin was exchanged for a physical good. Laszlo Henieks paid 10,000 BTC for 2 pizzas. Black Swan event, an event that is often entirely unexpected and deviates from the expected result, causing widespread ramifications. Block, a computer file that stores transaction data. These can then be arranged in a linear sequence which will form a blockchain. Block Explorer, an online blockchain web page which allows users to browse information about blocks, transactions, balances, and transaction history. Block Header, a section in a block containing metadata and a summary of the block's transactions. This is the information hashed when mining. Block Height, the number of blocks in the chain between itself and the first block on that blockchain. Genesis block or block 0. Block Reward, the sum of coins awarded by the blockchain protocol to cryptocurrency miners for each successfully mined and validated block. Blockchain, a decentralized, digitized ledger that records transaction information about a cryptocurrency in a chronological order. Bloom Filter, a data structure that can be used to inform the user whether a particular item is part of a set. BNB, launched by Binance after an initial coin offering that ended on July 3, 2017. Used for receiving exchange trading fee discounts among other utilities. Bollinger Bands, a technical analysis indicator that measures market volatility. It's made of 2 sidelong bands and a simple moving average. Bounty, a reward posted by a group or individual to incentivize certain work, behavior, such as referrals, or development. Break-even point, or BEP, the point where the total costs of an operation is equivalent to its current value or revenue. Break-even multiple, the multiple of the current price by which an asset needs to appreciate in order to reach its previous all-time high. Breakout, when the price of an asset moves outside of a defined range or pattern, typically by breaking out of support or resistance area. Boodle, originally derived from hodl, a term referring to keeping your heads down and focusing on building your product. Bull market, a positive trend in prices of a market. It's widely used not only in the cryptocurrency space but also in the traditional markets. Buy wall, a single huge buy order or the composition of multiple large buy orders at the same price in the order book of a particular market. Candidate block, a temporary block created by a mining node or miner to add to the blockchain to receive the block rewards. Candlestick, a graph representation of price action that displays the open, close, high, and low points within a certain period. Capitulation, a period of strong selling activity where investors give up their positions and sell their holdings as quickly as possible. Censorship resistance, the property of a cryptocurrency network that prevents any entity from altering transactions on it. Central bank, A financial institution that acts as a monetary authority and manages the state's currency, interest rates, and money supply. Central Processing Unit, or CPU. The part of a computer responsible for interpreting instructions of computer programs and executing operations. Centralized. When the planning and decision-making mechanisms are concentrated in a particular point within a system. Cipher. A method for encrypting and decrypting messages. These can be divided into symmetric or asymmetric, according to their key model. Circulating supply. The best approximate number of cryptocurrency coins or tokens that are publicly available and circulating in the market. Cloud. In computer science, a shared pool of resources which are made available to multiple users through the internet. Coin. A cryptocurrency or digital cash that is independent of any other platform, which is used as an exchange of value. Collateral. Pledging something of value against a loan to guarantee that the person taking the loan will complete repayment. Co-location. A dedicated space in a data center belonging to stock exchanges which is shared with other entities such as high-frequency traders. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, or CFTC. U.S.-based agency responsible for regulating the derivatives markets, which includes options, swaps, and futures contracts. Confirmation time. The time elapsed when a transaction is submitted to the network and the time it is recorded into a confirmed block. Confluence. When multiple investment methods, technical indicators, or trading signals are combined to form a more reliable strategy. Consumer Price Index, or CPI. A Consumer Price Index, or CPI, is a measure used to track the effects of inflation over a period of time. Credentials. Personal information. Examples include username, password, email address, qualifications, and much more. Cryptocurrency. A digital currency that is secured by cryptography to work as a medium of exchange within a peer-to-peer or P2P economic system. Cryptography. The science of using mathematical theories and computation in order to encrypt and decrypt information. Custody. Refers to the holding of assets on behalf of a client. Can also refer to the ownership of one's funds or assets. Daemon. A process operating in the background waiting for a specific event or condition in order to be activated. Dead cat bounce. A brief recovery in the price of a declining asset that is shortly followed by a continuation of the downtrend. Decentralized application, or DApp. Applications that run on a P2P network of computers rather than one central computer. This allows the software to run on the internet without being controlled by a single entity. Decentralized Autonomous Cooperative, or DAC. An organization that is controlled by shareholders rather than a central authority. Decentralized Autonomous Organization, or DAO. A system of hard-coded rules that define which actions a decentralized organization will take. Decentralized Exchange, or DEX. An exchange which does not require users to deposit funds to start trading and does not hold the funds for the user. Instead, users trade directly from their own wallets. Decentralized Finance, or DeFi. The ecosystem comprised of decentralized financial applications developed on top of blockchain networks. Decryption. The act of reverting an encryption process so that unreadable data or ciphertext can be converted into readable data or plain text. Deep Web. The part of the web that is somehow hidden, for example, not indexed by Google and other traditional web search engines. Delisting. The removal of an asset from an exchange either as a request from the project team or as a decision made by the exchange. Design flaw attack. An attack in which a malicious user purposely creates a smart contract, decentralized market, or other software with knowledge of certain flaws in order to trick individuals interacting within the permissionless environment. Difficulty. In cryptocurrency, difficulty indicates the difficulty required to mine a block. Difficulty bomb. The term difficulty bomb denotes the increase in mining difficulty in Ethereum as part of its migration to proof of stake. Divergence. When the market price of an asset and a technical indicator, such as the RSI, volume, or MACD, are heading in opposite directions. Diversification. The allocation of funds across different types of assets and jurisdictions in order to reduce the overall risks. Do your own research, or DYOR. A valuable piece of advice. It's always wise to research a coin or token yourself instead of following what others say. Dollar cost averaging, or DCA. Investing fixed dollar amounts over regular periods of time regardless of the price of the asset. Double spending. When a given amount of coins are spent more than once, usually as a result of a race attack or a 51% attack. Eclipse attack. when the majority of peers on the network are malicious and monopolize the network in order to prevent specific nodes from receiving information from honest nodes. Efficient market hypothesis, or EMH. An economic theory stating financial markets reflect all available information on the price of assets at any time. Encryption. Conversion of information or data into a secure code in order to prevent unauthorized access to the information or data. Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, or EEA. The industry's first global standards organization to deliver an open, standards-based architecture and specification to accelerate the adoption of enterprise Ethereum. ERC-20. A technical standard used to issue and implement tokens on the Ethereum blockchain proposed in November 2015 by Fabian Vogelsteller. ERC-721. An Ethereum-based non-fungible token. This means that each token is unique and, as a result, not interchangeable. Exchange. A marketplace for cryptocurrencies where users can buy and sell coins. Fake out. A situation where a trader enters a position betting on a price movement that quickly reverses or ultimately doesn't happen. Falling knife. Refers to the action of purchasing an asset while it is rapidly declining in price under the expectation that it will bounce. Fear of missing out, or FOMO. The feeling of fear and anxiety that you might be missing out on a potentially profitable opportunity. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt, or FUD. A marketing strategy used to spread fear and insecurity among customers, traders, or investors. Fiat. Money that a government has declared to be legal tender. Fill or kill order, or FOK. A buy or sell order which must be executed immediately in its entirety or else it will be cancelled. Finality. The assurance or guarantee that completed cryptocurrency transactions cannot be altered, reversed, or cancelled. First mover advantage, or FMA. The competitive advantage of the first project to bring a service or product into a new and unexplored market or industry. Fiscal policy. Describes how authorities adjust the tax rates of a country, influencing how public funds should be collected and used. Flappening. The name to describe the moment when Litecoin or LTC surpassed Bitcoin Cash or BCH in terms of market capitalization. Flippening. The name to describe the moment when or if Ethereum or ETH surpasses Bitcoin or BTC in terms of market capitalization. Forced liquidation. When a trader's leveraged position is forcibly closed as a result of it not fulfilling the necessary margin requirements. Forex or FX. Forex stands for Foreign Exchange Markets. It's a global market for the trading of fiat currencies. Formal verification. Using mathematically rigorous proofs to ensure certain properties of cryptographic algorithms and blockchain mechanisms. Full node. A computer that fully implements the entirety of rules of an underlying blockchain network and completely validates transactions and blocks on a blockchain. Fundamental analysis, or FA. Evaluating an asset based on its underlying characteristics and traits as an effort towards arriving at an intrinsic value of the asset. Fungibility. The property of an asset whose individual units are indistinguishable from each other in terms of value and functionality. Futures contract. A standardized version of forward contracts that are used as a legal agreement to buy or sell an asset in the future at an agreed upon price and date. Gas. The pricing mechanism employed on the Ethereum blockchain to calculate the costs of smart contracts operations and transaction fees. Gas limit. The maximum price a cryptocurrency user is willing to pay as a fee when sending a transaction or performing a smart contract function. General public license. License allowing users to copy and modify software, but requires the works to be distributed under the same license. Genesis block. The first ever block recorded on its respective blockchain network, also referred to as Block 0 or Block 1. GitHub. A website, system, folder, and repository where a team can share, collaborate, and save their open source or proprietary code. Golden Cross. A bullish chart pattern where a shorter-term moving average crosses above a long-term moving average. Gossip Protocol. A particular method of asynchronous peer-to-peer communication between computer nodes of a distributed system. Gwei. A small denomination of Ether. It's widely used as a measure of gas prices. 1 billion Wei equals 1 gigawei, or Gwei. Hacker. An individual that has an advanced understanding of computer systems and networks, including programmers and cybersecurity experts. Haha money printer go burr. Haha money printer go burr is a meme created in response to the Federal Reserve's 2020 plan to print more money. Halving. When the block reward of a crypto asset, such as Bitcoin, drops to 1/2 of what it was before. This is used to create a decaying rate of issuance to arrive at an eventual finite supply of a crypto asset. Hard cap. The maximum amount of funds a project intends to raise during their initial coin offering or ICO or alternative fundraising event. Hash. The output produced by a hash function after a piece of data is mapped. May also be referred to as hash value, hash code, or digest. Hash rate. The speed at which a computer or mining hardware is able to calculate new hashes, usually measured in hashes per second. Hashed Timelock contract, or HTLC, refers to a special feature that is used to create smart contracts that are able to modify payment channels. High-frequency trading, or HFT, a type of algorithmic trading that involves the execution of large numbers of orders in fractions of a second. HODL, a typo of hold, originating from Bitcoin talk that has also been retrofitted to be an acronym for Hold On for Dear Life, to maintain ownership of coins and not sell. Honeypot, a mechanism used in computer security to detect or counteract unauthorized access of information systems. Iceberg Order, a conditional order to buy or sell a large amount of assets in smaller predetermined quantities in order to conceal the total order quantity. Immutability, the inability to change or be changed, one of the core features behind Bitcoin and blockchain technology. Index, a financial instrument used to track the price value of a given asset or basket of assets. Initial coin offering, or ICO, a fundraising method in which new projects will sell their cryptocurrency to investors. Initial exchange offering, or IEO, a fundraising method designed to reduce the risk for token purchasers by introducing a trusted intermediary between the project team and the user. Initial public offering, or IPO, refers to the moment a private company starts offering its shares to the public for the first time. Integrated circuit, or IC, a small chip typically made of silicon that holds a set of electronic parts such as transistors, resistors, or capacitors. Interoperability, a concept of allowing blockchains to be compatible with each other and build upon each other's features and use cases. Interplanetary File System, or IPFS, an open source project building a protocol for distributed content storage and access. IOU, an acronym which stands for IOU, and refers to an informal document that acknowledges a debt one party owes to another. Isolated margin, the margin balance allocated to a position. Traders can manage risk by restricting the amount allocated to each position. Issuance, generation of a new cryptocurrency, which occurs in a variety of different ways, depending on the parameters specified by the creators. Jaeger, the smallest denomination of BNB, derived from the Telegram handle of the Binance community manager at the time. Ketchak, a versatile cryptographic function designed by Guido Bertoni, Joan Damon, Michael Peters, and Jill Vanassa. Know Your Customer, or KYC, a standard procedure in the finance industry which allows companies to identify their customers and comply with KYC AML laws. Latency, the time between submitting a transaction to a network and the first confirmation of acceptance by the network. Law of demand. The law of demand relates to the willingness of consumers to buy a specific amount of goods or services for a particular price. Layer 2, a secondary framework or protocol that is built on top of an existing blockchain system to provide increased scalability. Ledger, a physical book or a digital computer file where monetary and financial transactions are tracked and recorded. Library, a collection of stable resources which may include executable files, documentation, message templates, and written code. Lightning Network, a second layer operating on top of a blockchain enabling increased transaction speed among participating nodes. This is one proposed scaling solution. Linux, a popular open-source operating system created in 1991 by Linus Torvalds. It's used in a wide range of devices around the world. Liquidity, the ability to sell or buy any given asset without causing significant fluctuations in the market price for that asset. Listing, the addition of an asset to an exchange either as a request from the project team or as a decision made by the exchange. Mainnet, a blockchain protocol which is fully developed and deployed where transactions are being broadcasted, verified, and recorded. Mainnet Swap, when a coin migrates from a third-party platform such as Ethereum or other token to a native on-chain token on their mainnet. Maker, you become a maker when you place an order and it does not trade immediately, so your order stays in the order book and waits for someone else to fill or match with it later. Malware, any software program or code that is created to infiltrate and intentionally cause damage to computer systems and networks. Margin trading, trading using borrowed funds, Note, this is a high-risk strategy and should only be done by experienced investors. Market capitalization, the total trading value of a given coin, calculated by the product of the supply of the coin by the current price. Market momentum, the ability of a certain market to maintain a continuous increase or decrease in price within a particular time frame. Market order, when a taker picks the best available bid or ask for a cryptocurrency, taking the price and quantity available on the order book. Master node, nodes on a network that often require a minimum amount of a given coin staked in order to access staking rewards. Maximum supply, refers to the maximum number of coins or tokens that will ever be created for a given cryptocurrency. Mempool, a node's mechanism for keeping track of unconfirmed transactions that the node has seen but has not yet been added to a block. Merged mining, the act of mining two or more cryptocurrencies at the same time, without sacrificing overall mining performance. Merkle tree, a way of organizing and structuring large amounts of data to make it more straightforward to process. A hash-based data structure. Metadata, data that includes information about other data, such as information about features of a specific transaction. Mining, the verification of transactions on a blockchain network in which transactions are added as entries into the blockchain ledger. Mining farm, a collection of many miners, often in a warehouse or a large data center devoted to mining cryptocurrencies. Monetary policy, refers to the policies that authorities create and adopt to control the money supply and interest rates of a country. Moon, a colloquial expression used to describe a cryptocurrency or other asset that is experiencing a strong upward market trend. Multi-signature, wallet which requires another party to authorize a transaction before it is broadcasted to the network. Node, a participant on a blockchain network that communicates with other participants to ensure the security and integrity of the system. Non-fungible token, or NFT, a type of cryptographic token that represents a unique digital or real-world asset and isn't interchangeable. Nonce, a single-use arbitrary string or number generated for verification purposes to prevent replaying past transactions. Off-chain, transactions that occur off a given blockchain network that may be later reported or batched together before submitted to the main chain. Offshore account, an account that is registered in a jurisdiction that is different to the jurisdiction of the holder's citizenship. One cancels the other order, or OCO, a pair of orders that are created concurrently, but it is only possible for one of them to execute. Open source software, or OSS, software released under a license that gives anyone the ability and right to use, update, and distribute it freely. Oracle, a data source or feed from a third party used for determining outcomes for smart contracts. Order book, an electronic list of outstanding buy and sell orders for a specific asset on an exchange or marketplace. Orphan Block, a block whose parent block is unknown, formed in older versions of Bitcoin Core where ancestry data wasn't required. Paper wallet, a piece of paper on which a cryptocurrency address and its corresponding private key are physically printed out. Passive management, an investing strategy that doesn't rely on active market exposure but rather tracks an existing economic index. Peer-to-peer or P2P, when two or more computers are connected and share workload or resources without relying on a centralized server. Pegged currency, a currency where the price is designed to remain the same as a designated asset. For example, 1 USDT is pegged to $1, also referred to as a stablecoin. Phishing, a malicious attack where a bad actor will attempt to obtain the credentials of a user in order to gain unauthorized access into their account. Plasma, an Ethereum off-chain scaling solution which may allow Ethereum to greatly increase the transactions per second capabilities. Polkadot Crowd Loan. Polkadot Crowd Loan refers to the process of staking Polkadot or DOT tokens to support specific projects in the Polkadot slot auction. In return, participants can receive rewards from the projects. Ponzi scheme, a scam in which new investors' funds are used to pay returns promised to previous investors. Do not invest in these. Price action, the price movement of a financial asset over time. Plotted on chart, it can be used by traders to identify trade setups. Prisoner's dilemma, an example that shows why two individuals might not cooperate, even if it may appear to be in their best interest. Private key. In cryptocurrency, a private key is a lengthy number that allows users to sign transactions and to generate receiving addresses. Private sell. An early-stage investment round for strategic investors with a considerable amount of investable funds. Progressive Web Application, or PWA. An application that is created through the use of modern web technologies and follows basic web standards. Proof of Attendance Protocol, or POAP, a protocol that creates digital badges or collectibles to celebrate and record the attendance of an event. Proof of stake, or POS, a consensus mechanism that rewards block validators according to the amount of coins they have at stake. Pseudorandom, the property of a definite function that can produce an outcome that passes statistical tests of randomness. Quantum computing. Quantum computing works using particles that can be in superposition. These particles represent qubits instead of bits and can take the value of 1, 0, or both simultaneously. Race attack, when two transactions are created with the same funds at the same time, with the intention of spending those funds twice. Ransomware, a type of malware which takes over your computer and threatens to destroy or reveal files unless a ransom is paid. Wrecked, a slang term used to define someone or something that has been destroyed or experienced catastrophic failure and a synonym for liquidated. Relative Strength Index, or RSI, a technical indicator that measures market momentum and is used to identify overbought and oversold conditions. Resistance, a term in technical analysis, or TA, when a price that is increasing finds resistance, usually compared with previous highs. Return on investment, or ROI, a measure used in order to assess the efficiency of an investment, the ratio between net profit and net cost. Roadmap, a business planning technique which lays out the short and long-term goals of a company within a flexible estimated timeline. Routing attack, an attack on the internet service provider level to affect uptime or participation in a web-enabled system such as blockchain. Rug pull. A rug pull in the crypto industry is when a development team suddenly abandons a project and sells or removes all of its liquidity. Satoshi, the smallest unit of a Bitcoin, as defined by the Bitcoin protocol. It equals 100 millionth of a Bitcoin, or 0.00000001 BTC. Satoshi Nakamoto, the pseudonym of the creator or creators of the Bitcoin protocol and white paper. Secure Asset Fund for Users, or SAFU. Secure Asset Fund for Users is an emergency insurance fund created by Binance in 2018. Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, an independent governmental agency responsible for regulating securities markets. Security Audit, a systematic analysis to evaluate how safe a system, smart contract, or blockchain is against attacks or technical failures. Seed phrase. A seed phrase, or mnemonic seed, is a collection of words that can be used to access your cryptocurrency wallet. Segregated witness, or SegWit, a process where the transaction signatures are separated from Bitcoin transactions, allowing more transactions to fit within one block. Selfish mining, the strategic withholding and releasing of blocks by a miner in order to gain a competitive advantage over the network. Sell wall, a very large limit sell order or an accumulation of sell orders at the same price level on an order book for an asset. Sentiment, the overall attitude of a community in regards to a cryptocurrency or within investors towards a certain financial market. Sharp ratio, a ratio created in 1966 that investors and economists use to assess the potential return of investment, or ROI. Smart contracts, automated contracts that trigger certain actions when predetermined conditions are met. It works like if, then conditions, as for instance, it needs condition C met before money can be transferred from A to B. Snapshot, the ability to record the state of a blockchain ledger, storage device, or computer system at a specific point in time. Source code, computer code, which is responsible for defining how software will function based on a list of instructions and statements. Stablecoin, a type of cryptocurrency that is designed to maintain a stable value, rather than experiencing significant price changes. Staking pool, a pool where stakeholders combine their staking power to increase their chance of successfully validating a new block. State channel, a two-way communication channel between two users or nodes on a network, or between a user and a service. Store of value, a commodity, asset, or currency that can be saved, retrieved, and exchanged at a future date without suffering depreciation. Supercomputer, a computer or virtual machine that operates at the highest level of currently possible computing power. Supply chain, a network of people and businesses involved in creating and distributing a particular product or serving a particular customer. Support, a term in technical analysis, or TA, when a price that is decreasing finds support, usually compared with lows. Taker, the taker is someone who decides to place an order that is instantly matched with an existing order on the order book. Tank, a term adopted from the traditional financial markets which describes a strong negative financial performance of a particular asset. Ticker, The trading symbol or shortened name typically in capital letters that refers to a coin on a trading platform. For example, BNB. Token. Tokens, not to be confused with coins, are digital units issued on a blockchain. They can hold value or be redeemed for assets. Token lockup. Token lockup or vesting period refers to the time span in which tokens or coins are not allowed to be transferred or traded. Token sell. The issuance of tokens in exchange for another cryptocurrency, also referred to as an initial coin offering. Total supply refers to the number of coins or tokens that currently exists and are either in circulation or locked somehow. Transaction ID or TXID. A transaction ID or TXID is a unique string of characters that labels each transaction on the blockchain. Transactions per second or TPS. The number of transactions that a blockchain network is capable of processing each second. Trustless. No single entity has authority over the system, and consensus is achieved between participants who do not have to trust each other. Turing complete. A machine that, given enough time and memory, along with the necessary instructions, can solve any computational problem no matter how complex. Unit of account. One of the primary properties of money, allowing measurement and comparison of the value of different things. Unspent transaction output, or UTXO. An output created in a transaction which must be referenced in a future transaction to spend funds. User interface, or UI. The interface where interactions between humans and machines occur. It establishes how a user can interact with a machine. Verification code. Code sent to a second device to ensure the identity of someone logging into an account. Used for two-factor authentication. Virtual machine. An emulated computer system or a distributed system that is designed to replicate the features of a computer's architecture. Vladimir Club. A term used to describe someone who has acquired 1% of 1% or 0.01% of the maximum supply of a cryptocurrency. Volatility. How quickly and how much the price of an asset changes. Calculated in terms of standard deviations in the annual return of an asset over a set period of time. Volume. A measurement of the number of individual units of an asset that changed hands in a market during a given time. Wallet. Used to send and receive cryptocurrencies. Different types include software wallets, hardware wallets, and paper wallets. Weak hands. A term referring to traders or investors who lack the confidence to hold their assets or to follow their trading plans. Weak subjectivity. Relates to the need for certain nodes to rely on other nodes when determining the current state of a POS blockchain. Web 1.0, the initial iteration of the web, when data was primarily read-only pages connected with hyperlinks, also known as read-only web. Wei, the smallest possible denomination of Ether or ETH, the currency used on the Ethereum network, often used when referring to gas prices. Whale, an individual or organization that holds a large amount of bitcoins or other cryptocurrency, allowing them to impact the markets. Whiskers, the lines extending from the colored bar in a candlestick chart that indicates the full low-high range of a trading pair within a certain time frame, also referred to as wicks or shadows. Whitelist, a list of allowed or trusted individuals, computer programs, or cryptocurrency addresses in relation to a service or event. Wick, a line found on a candlestick chart which is used to indicate where the price of an asset is fluctuating in regards to its opening and closing prices. Wrapped Ether, or WETH. ERC20 token representing Ether at a 1-to-1 ratio. It allows users to trade ETH to ERC20 tokens on a decentralized platform. Zero-knowledge proofs. Proofs to verify that transactions are valid without revealing any information about these transactions, providing privacy to the transaction while maintaining its legitimacy. ZK snarks. Zero-knowledge, succinct non-interactive argument of knowledge. An approach to zero-knowledge proofs. I hope you got a great deal of value from this video now that you understand the words of crypto. If you're new here, consider subscribing to Crypto Lessons. Hit the thumbs up, turn on notifications so you never miss a new video, and let me know in the comments if I missed any words. I've covered quite a few, but comment below what word or words you think should be included as well. I'll see you smart people on the next one. Peace out.